Okay, I'm glad you liked that part in the Imperial Palace. We're moving back to Ardamantua. Laurentis got up. Blood flowed from his nose and ears. The tech adept was dead. The Major was twitching on the floor and the Magos machine was fried. The former blisterness started to shake. The noise burst continued, but the Magos wanted to see the end of the world with his own eyes. The end of this world, so he dragged himself leaning against the wall. He got out to see a stockade up in flames, and the Imperial fists get outnumbered. The place was swarming with orcs. The biologist had never seen orcs alive before. He started to wonder, how did the orcs get on the planet, and how? But those thoughts got overwhelmed by the emotion of fear. The orcs were as big as the space marines, and even more brutish looking, radiating power and weight like no other. The orcs seemed well equipped, and even more so than normally. They had swords instead of meat cleavers, curved shields, and proper armor that wasn't disheveled. Besides that, the orcs had painted tribal markings on themselves. And true, what the orcs were now was the purest incarnation of mankind's fear. They were also ugly, I forgot to mention that. Mea culpa. The orcs cut through the shield brothers, and Laurentis reflected upon the orcs. They were a threat once, but that age is long gone. They couldn't compare themselves to the arch enemy or the machinations of the Eldar. They were not a threat before, and especially they were not like this. But now, he understood why people feared them. He didn't understand how they were 6 weeks away from the Terran core, however. Laurentis looked at the moon, and a gigantic orc face appeared, screaming, "I am slaughter." But the biologist got spotted by an orc. Good thing Nyman came and took him into the nest, but the orc followed them. But don't worry, one does not become a major in the Imperial Guard without having grenades on hand. The Major threw a grenade, making a part of the nest to collapse, but separating them from the orc. Once that ordeal was done with, Laurentis observed the Major's Vox was open, so he went back to his machine. Some were dead, but others still worked. The gravitational storm eased. They had little technology back. Nyman tried to contact the fleet connecting his helmet to the damaged Voxcast. After screaming azimuth a few times, Nyman was connected to the ship. It was a cracking connection, but it had to do. Unfortunately, the fleet knew the situation, but it couldn't extract the survivors. The Lord Commander Militant was put on Vox with Nyman. He was happy to know Nyman was alive. Nyman, informed his superior about the massive amount of orcs decimating space marines, and had mentioned it was impossible to get them out because they were stuck in a void battle. The biologist wanted to talk, and reluctantly Nyman gave the Vox to Laurentis. The Magos told Het that they must absolutely inform Terra. Ardamantua was just the stepping stone for the orcs. Next, Laurentis told Het that he must connect to the ship codifiers so they can send a detailed report about the orcs, including what they were saying. When asked how, the biologist responded by learning.